Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings. On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set, 280. Watch the pass. Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
On first down, Turner. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Yeah, baby.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Big 20. Slant. Watch the slant. Joker, 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 joker.
They'll run for the first time with the former Bearcat, Mike Boone. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
Hey, let's go. Calm the crowd.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Ready, ready.
Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Holton Hill, the one there to bring him down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here we go. Here we go. Go.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now it's Rudolph. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I always love the opening game of the season, and for the players, always nice to get those firsts out of the way, isn't it? How about here, the first sack of the season? Not just in the first.
top of the throne. I ain't a king of the pawn. Hop on a jet across the globe. I guess the world is my home and there's so many miracles burning my dome like turbulent air. I'm switching these flows. If you look at my neck, boy, I'm letting it snow. I'm sturdy as hell, as a vessel alone. They showing me love in my city. Gangs ain't hippies. Women like Nicky know what I'm about. I'm not the stereotypes. They do not fit me. I'm bigger than life. Give everyone jobs. I'm not a guard. Go hard with a squad. I'm playing my part, but them LeBron. Rings to the team. I feel Jackson and hard. The homie calling from a cell. A couple of homies be making it. I just want all of them dudes to do well. Not worry about taking a couple of L's. Don't sin for me, just win for me. Don't kill for me, just live for me. Keep it real for me. We eat together, leave the bill for me like. Hand on my heart, I give it all I got. Walk the walk, inside the talk. Take it higher, that's a...
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings. On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on.
22-yard line.
Set. 180. Alert flare.
They'll run on first down. Turner. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 20-yard line.
Ready. 280. Mike 50. Hey, me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And this is incomplete. Carlos Henderson, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Out of the gun, Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Terrell Edmonds comes flying in from safety for the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Now it's Rudolph off the bootleg. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And look at this, the punt team is out there. Somebody better give them the memo that it's 2nd down. Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Back for the offense. Let's go. Under 10. Under 10. 40 got. 40 got.
On 1st down. Boom. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. On the defensive end, Cameron Sutton with a tackle. You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get this off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely my better off. Oh, barely my better off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstay it, your thoughts are never everything you wanted when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You on the Christ when I breath on this set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak. I'm the sick in the head. Come on, come on. Oh, barely my better off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my better off. Everything was better off. Tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get this off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely my better off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my better off. Everything was better off.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this a jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad need pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more Modesto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, I make pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number saved, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet points of God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Hey, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she want it like me cause her blame, she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep it score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts. Whole team counting, that's a big number.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
You go tight, lady. Don't get nervous. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Like 7. Mike's 50. Watch the screen. Pass. Hey, Mike's 50. Mike's 50. X3. 218. Chopper.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. 76 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game.
7, Steelers nothing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Rudolph. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Cook. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long. 3rd and 15 to be exact.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's Rudolph. And this is caught by Watkins. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And this is caught by Watkins. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
Let's go now. 90 Wolf. Check 55 to Mike. I'm coming. I'm coming. Ready?
Now Cook. He's got it off the draw. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Check pass. Check pass. Begin. Check go.
2nd and 5 now. Rudolph. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Chris Conley there to make the grab as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
I do believe we came here to see a game, didn't we? And it looks like he's running what we call routes versus air. You just go out there with your offensive unit and throw the football with no defense. He's 5 for 5 on the opening drive.
He was on his game there for drive number 1, but my only thing is now he can't go any higher than that. He was so perfect. Can he do it again later?
Yeah, all he cares about right now is making it 10 for 10, 15 for 15.
Keeping that going.
And he feels like he can get it done.
We got this.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They run the counter. It's Turner. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
They're running it.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
The Steelers take over.
Let's go. Let's do it.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season. And they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Okay, ready? Mike's by 4. Mike's by 4. Hey, watch the slant, watch the slant. Deep rip.
On second down, it's Cook.
Go, run.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Go.
They'll run it. Here's Cook.
Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Vikings 34.
But they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Connor on first down going nowhere as he's going to be stacked up behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Set 30 base. Check. Watch 54. Let's go. Shit.
On second down, Connor looking for space. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. And this one is right down Broadway. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Stafford. And Diggs has it. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Throwing is Stafford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Now Rudolph. Complete to Washington. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
15 line.
Here comes a first down throw from Rudolph. Finds his running back, James Conner. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now it's Connor. And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
I'm here all day.
On first down, it's Rudolph. That'll be complete to Cook. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it's a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
A 4-receiver look here. 3 out to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 8. Rudolph looking to throw. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They come out here in the eye.
60 Pittsburgh. You can't block me. You can't block me. You
They'll run for it with Cook. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And that loss of yards there is not just on him. It's on the guys blocking for it. I mean, they're supposed to create some type of space or at least get a stalemate. They end up letting them through, and they ended up tackling him for a loss.
On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone.
Don't be scared.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. They were able to push him backwards on first down, but this time he forces his way in.
I wonder if he went back to the huddle and said, guys, just a little bit more help, and I can get it done on this one. Maybe even overruled the play call from the sideline, just feeling like he had that opportunity, and he wanted to cash it in.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jason Verrett, he'll get the sack as he provides the heat off the corner.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Back to throw, Stafford. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Turner. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down now, it's Turner. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Watch twist.
And they're going to go with the jet sweep. This is Diggs with it. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
No gain on the play.
20. Right there in the middle. 55. You got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. And that is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now Stafford looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Rudolph now to throw. Dancing to his left. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open?
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Okay, baby, I see you.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on second down, and that leads to a tough third down call. Here's Stafford. And he's able to find Diggs. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, They've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Stafford. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Devin Bush in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Stafford lets it fly for Thielen. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, as the first half is winding down, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the 2nd quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well.
So what you're saying is if they take the ball down to start the 2nd half and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it?
Absolutely. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Cook following the penalty. And an alley to run. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
18 Gator. Hey, exit. 54 is Mike. 55.
Now Rudolph on first down. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Chris Conley, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Boswell for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Next to score, Steelers 24, Vikings 14. Chris Boswell, the kickoff.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Watch a slant, watch a slant.
To throw is Stafford. It's complete to Diggs. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener, and it's a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now it's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Off the edge, the sack by Matt Ioannidis.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Stafford. Oh, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Got it.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They run it again with Cook. After the play, not a good sign. Dalvin Cook staying on the ground. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back.
Down. 30 base. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Topper. Topper. Jim. 2.
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Rudolph. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
We go. 60 yards.
On 1st and 10 is counter. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Probably I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 2nd down, Samuels. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rudolph. And it's brought in by Washington. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 26.
And the Steelers first down.
Here we go, here we go. 10 Lobo. Go. Get it.
On 1st and 10, Rudolph. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. On 2nd down, it's Connor. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd.
Go, Jackrabbit, come on. 5.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this.
After the interception, here's Rudolph. This is caught. Watkins. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 14 yards that time for number 14.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Here's Rudolph. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Vance McDonald there to make the grab. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point now by Boswell. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back.
Defense wins championships, baby.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
Now a give, right side. Turner. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling him in the huddle right now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Turner, and he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. It's a 1st down following a gain of 3.
And that's why you spend a 1st-round draft pick on a running back, not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. That's complete to Turner. The catch and run there, good for 16 in the first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get it, Matt.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down. Stafford now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. The Vikings on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Stafford. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down.
Let's make these big.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point splits the uprights, and that cuts this lead down to 13.
Vikings 21.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Ready?
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And 9 at the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Set. 70. Indy. 54. Block 54. And we got to get to the ball. Shoot.
They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerry Hughes in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's pulled in at the 32. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts of the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe you can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Stafford. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Throwing is Stafford. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down.
Waiting. 51. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Here a throw taken in by Watkins. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Rudolph. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. The 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Chris Conley with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
That's got to be a long day. That's got to be a
From the 50, Stafford. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Stafford. And Diggs has it. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a first down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again, and he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
Stafford now to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. This is caught, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, 29 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I got it.
Again, it's Connor. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch the screen.
Connor. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. They run with Connor, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
And indeed, they will keep it on the ground. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. It's a gain of 4, and that should just about seal the deal.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1.
Brings up 2nd and 11. at the 50-yard
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for Pittsburgh, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.